Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Doctor Who reaction. This is Hardline, my name is Matt. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about previous episodes. So last time we got the Tsuranga Conundrum, which is a terrible, terrible title for an episode. It just doesn't roll off the tongue at all. So I enjoyed that episode, but apparently not a lot of people did. Fuck that. But things are awesome. Okay. Moving on, we're jumping into episode 6. We're just more than halfway through the season with this episode. There's not a lot to talk about, really. We're just going on adventures, and that's it. That's fine. I enjoy that. God, fuck that Spiders episode, man. I'm glad to see it. That episode aired on YouTube Public, and people don't seem to mind the fact that I was freaking the fuck out during that episode. People have been super nice and chill about that. So I'm grateful for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was the Spiders episode. Fuck that episode. But okay, hopefully this episode won't have any spiders on it. So yeah, I guess we'll just go. So yeah, Doctor Who Series 11, Episode 6. Let's go. Demons of the Punjab, written by Binay Patel. Sanat Chivnel.
Celebrate your birthday, Nanny.
I was the first woman married in Pakistan. Now look
Really?
at me, in a wheelchair and being fed shopboard cake. I want to give you these things before it's too late. Nadja, these are some letters your father wrote to me when he was away.
We're gonna go back in time to see your young
Sonia,
grandma.
my favorite granddaughter.
What? Mummy, what? I've told you about that.
I want you to have this.
My favorite. Okay, so what is this?
Thank you.
A broken
Well done,
watch.
And get it fixed if you like.
It must never be fixed.
Why not?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
A demon will come out and you fix it.
Such stories I could tell you.
And we want to hear them, really. If you don't tell us, we won't know. Your life's our heritage.
When you're older, maybe.
Have you got a time or place? I know she lived in Lahore in the 50s. But other than that? I mean, I could, but I shouldn't.
Yes.
No. Too unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's a risk.
Oh, like none of our other trips have ever been risky.
I have apologised for the Death Eye Turtle Army. Profusely.
I want to watch that episode. I really want to watch that episode.
1 hour. No interfering.
I mean, you're gonna. Every time we decide we're not gonna interfere, fuck it, let's take a risk, but not interfere. That's when we always interfere, man. Okay, question. Was this actually filmed in Pakistan? Okay.
Hey, get out the road!
Really sorry. Bit of a wobble.
What just happened?
Not sure. I didn't like it at all. They're looking for a woman by the name of Umbreen.
Right, Umbreen. What for?
We're family.
friends. Family friends. But we agreed. Okay, get in. So what, you a flower merchant? Pretty much right now.
Why isn't it safe on the roads?
Running transport now, Prim.
Is this guy going to meet Yas's grandma and the flowers are for her and she's gonna get in the way of their relationship? I really like this guy. I like how he looks.
I'm late. Umbreen's gonna kill me.
Yeah, he's gonna... Oh, fuck. We're interfering. We're straight up interfering right away. If I didn't know any better, I would have said that's a Power Rangers villain.
When's the big day again? Tomorrow. Amazing. I can't wait to meet the groom.
I
You
mean,
already have.
Remember me? Cart, flowers, marrying Umbreen?
No,
you're slow on this.
you can't be.
Oh, but like...
You're not my wedding in the Punjab. Bring it on.
Yeah, but he's not...
Hi, I thought I saw some people on the cart. Sorry about his driving.
My baby brother thinks he can do everything better than me.
All of you, it's being announced. Coming, Mum.
What's being announced?
Number 1. The man Umbreen is about to marry is not my granddad.
Uh-huh.
Defo, totally sure?
Yes.
Sure?
For starters, Prem's a Hindu name. We're Muslim. And
Okay.
he doesn't look anything like the photos. It's not him.
Doc, I reckon the hour's nearly up, mate.
Okay.
We can't go. I came here for answers. All I've got is more questions.
I knew this would happen.
Every time.
I'll help. I'm Yaz.
I'm too nice.
Yes,
This
you
is what
are.
happens when you try to be nice.
Yeah.
Who wants to know what they're listening to in there?
Lord Mountbatten has
It's up
finally
there.
released the specific details of the border which will separate the two countries.
What borders are they talking about?
Pakistan. Today, India's officially cut into pieces.
It's the 17th of August.
And still you want to go ahead?
Nothing changes, Mum. We knew this was coming.
Partition. We're in the middle of the partition of India.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Is it for the celebrations?
Big celebration.
We're living a historical event.
Where India ends and our future begins.
Quick sidebar. August 1947. Partition. The borders have just been announced. It's not just the land that gets divided. Rioting in the cities. Tens of millions of people about to be displaced. More than 1 million about to die.
We should leave.
Doc, meanwhile, Nan's about to get married, but not to her granddad.
I'm thinking that hour's well up now.
You can't know the borders. It's only just been announced.
The maps were leaked weeks ago. I got one from my sources.
Your sources must be wrong, because you've just put my house in Pakistan.
With the other Muslims, Pakistan is being created for Muslims. Hindus have India, we both feel safe.
Don't reduce it to that, brother. It's not that simple.
But I get you have a hard decision if you're married.
The land belongs to everyone, has done for centuries. One day doesn't change that.
I love you, brother, but you're wrong.
What?
Look! Demons!
What's happening? What the fuck? Okay, give me a better look. Okay, so they're psychic for sure. Oh, they took the... Oh, man. There's a gun!
He was your man on the road.
He's a holy man. A sadhu.
So that's
Everyone
a
knows
one.
him as Bhakti. Umbreen and I asked him to bless our marriage. Why would they kill him?
Oh, shit, he saw them in a war.
Umbreen doesn't need anything else to worry about, and Manish... Who knows what he thinks these days? I was away from him for too long, fighting in the war. By the time I got back, Manish wasn't my baby brother anymore.
People grow up. We all have to find our own way. A dormant octonic engine. Nearby.
Sure, whatever
What's
that
he
means.
I
Exactly.
think we're going demon hunting.
Hell yeah, let's go. I'm bringing my war glaives.
Seems like a transmat doorway.
Okay.
Nice. That was cool. Oh,
How did that feel? Did it feel like anything, or...?
This is a Thajarian hive.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Thajarians are assassins.
Right, so that's basically a bad thing then.
At least assassins in the known universe.
Yeah, but what's the reason? What's the purpose? Why would they care about assassinating some random
He was
people?
that target.
Why though? Why
Yeah.
would the Thajarians target a holy man in the 1940s? Wait, you said you'd seen them before. Where?
Our section had found a boat to escape on. But I'd signed up with Kunal. I wasn't gonna leave without him at my side. That's where I saw the demons. Standing over my older brother's dead body.
Oh, Keen, should have thought about that.
You have desecrated the hive. The hive is sacred.
Do you have to push your words into our heads like that? Because it really hurts. Leave these people alone. They're under my protection now.
You cannot prevent this.
You just watch me.
I feel like time police. Okay, run away.
Not many would agree to a Hindu marrying a Muslim right now.
Then you can't go ahead with marrying Prem.
You think I'd give up that easily? I've seen war take our young, and drought take our old and weak. Now men without a clue are imposing a border like a crack through my country. Prem is the one certain thing in my life.
Okay. So this is for real. I want to have a Graham Yes conversation. This is gonna be odd, but I kind of want to see that.
Thought I knew my nan's story. She inspired me. If this is true, if this is her life, then she lied to me.
Yeah, but maybe she just didn't want to tell you everything, you know. Woman's allowed to have secrets, even from her granddaughter. Remember, Yaz, that girl in there, she ain't your nan yet. It's only later she'll decide how to tell it. And I honestly don't know whether any of us know the real truth of our own lives. Because we're too busy living them from the inside. So just enjoy it, yes.
That's
Live this moment and figure it out later.
That's some really
Easier said than done.
No, I
that's
get
some
that, but
really good dialogue from Graham.
look at us. The things we're doing with the doc. We're in 1947.
I know, right?
We're my nan.
Yeah.
No one will ever believe us. Especially my nan.
Exactly.
No! Stay out!
Damn it.
Locking you out of this farm.
Kill the demons.
No. Just exile
So they
them
can't
for
get in
now.
the farm.
Time for you to get married and for us to keep everyone safe.
Are you serious after what's just happened?
Yeah,
See
right?
what's happening. You bring demons to life.
Tonight we celebrate, and we marry first thing. And then if we have to fight them, we will. Come on. So come on, women with me and Mum, men over at Prem's house.
This woman is so determined to getting married. Like, holy shit. The Sharingan.
This is the best thing ever. Never did this when I was a man. How long have you known Prem?
Our whole lives. We grew up here together.
Okay.
Our families have worked the land alongside each other for generations. I can't believe it's happening. I waited so long for him. All the time he was away fighting. I was terrified he wouldn't come home.
I can still find you a good Muslim man.
Are you joking right now? I don't care about traditions. I don't care about respectable... Wait, you're a doctor, right? That's respectable.
Gotcha.
You could marry us.
Yeah,
Be
sure.
ridiculous.
I suppose I could.
They should do a...
Doctor? Haven't officiated a wedding since Einstein's. His parents didn't approve either.
Everyone is saying it's a new future. We make our own traditions now.
You're on. Thought we
Hell
were not
yeah.
getting involved. Only a teensy bit.
Just as much as we need. Loving the torture doctor, by the way. I love her expressions to shit and her responses.
I know, Prem. Unlucky at cards, lucky in love.
You think he's lucky?
Yeah.
I think he's lost his mind.
Hey, mate, not on his stag night.
You'll have to forgive him. Spends too much time reading pamphlets, listening to angry men on the radio.
Do you love me, Prem?
Of course I love you. Even if sometimes I don't recognize the brother I left behind.
Kanar would have understood. He said he was only fighting for you lot so he could get rid of you. And now it's happening. Don't marry tomorrow.
Umbrine's a good woman.
You can't live together here. India's not her home now.
India's a home to all of us. We didn't change when a line was drawn.
But we did.
Right? Ryan's like, Jesus. They're hacking into the thing. Well, they're in. Well, we lost our second priest. That was a good shot, by the way.
I know the stories of the assassins of Thajar.
We are changed.
What?
This is all that remains of our home.
Okay, so the entire planet was concentrated into
Every
this,
ancestor,
and you stole that.
all one
Okay.
dust.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Now apologize because that was kind of rude.
And now we travel beyond, seeking the unacknowledged dead across all of time and space. This is now the Thajarian mission, to bear witness to those alone, to see,
Okay.
to bear pain, honor life as it passes. As each one passes, we commemorate union.
Why this family? Why this land?
His time is soon.
How soon? Give him a day. Just give him this day, please.
We are not gods. Events sit as they will.
Yeah.
We only witness.
They don't kill. They just show up when it happens. How is he gonna die?
If you didn't kill the holy man.
It would be fucked up
If you were...
his brother's gonna kill him. And his brother killed the priest. That's the reveal. The brother's just gonna kill everyone.
For Umbrine
like-
to become your nanny, for you to exist, Prem has to die.
By the time...
You mean the Thajarians have come to kill Prem?
That's
No.
not why they're here. They're not assassins. They honor those who die alone.
Aliens with compassion.
Umbrine loses a husband on the day she marries.
Of course, you never want to talk about it. We can't tell them what we know.
I woke this morning.
But how did the priest die?
Violence is getting closer.
Who's doing this stuff?
The border is like right next to it.
Ordinary people who've lived here all their lives. Whipped into a frenzy to be part of a mob. Nothing worse than when normal people lose their minds. We've lived together for decades. Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh. And now we're being told our differences are more important than what unites us. Like we learned nothing in the war. I don't know how we protect people when hatred's coming from all sides.
This episode is really good. This episode is fantastic.
All we can strive to be is good men. And you, Prem, are a good man.
I'm going to be the first woman married in Pakistan.
Oh my god.
Of course you are.
She was. Okay.
I know there aren't many certainties in any of our lives. But Umbreen, Prem, what I see in you is the certainty you have in each other. Something I believe in my faith. Love, in all its forms, is the most powerful weapon we have. Because love is a form of hope, and like hope, love abides in the face of everything. You both found love with each other. You believed in it, you fought for it, and you waited for it. And now, you're committing to it. Which makes you, right now, the two strongest people on this planet. Maybe in this universe.
That's a Hindu thing, isn't it? Tying their hands together.
Now it can be our thing, if we want it to be. I'm not often lost for words, but I never thought this day would come. It's been tough. People who I wish were here to celebrate.
They are, Betty.
The drought was nearly the end of us. But we get to have this day because of Manish. You were tireless. When there was hardly any food, you took none. When we doubted we'd make it through to summer, you kept on. I am proud to have been your neighbor, but I'm even prouder now to call you my brother.
Come on.
I didn't work this land for you, Umbreen. I worked it for my brothers. One who didn't come back, and the other I wish hadn't.
What are you doing?
You did a Hindu thing with a rope. Only right, I do a Muslim thing too. This is your maher. Yours to keep forever.
Prem.
That's it.
This is us, forever. Our moment in time.
Nice spin. Oh my fucking god, please don't.
Is that what you used to shoot the holy man?
Not scared of anything, because this is my time to fight.
Come on.
Fight for what I believe.
Killing a man because he might marry a Muslim and a Hindu, and then pretend you knew nothing.
Take your friends and leave. If you want to get out alive.
What have you done? Who's coming?
Future.
Fuck you.
There's armed men heading up the track. You have to leave now.
They want the land.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. My husband and parents are buried here. I'm not going to abandon it to thugs.
Where's Manish?
He's leading them here. He killed the holy man with your rifle.
Go to the house. Get anything essential and get back here.
I'll help you.
This is weird because we know how this develops.
My dad bought that map home from the market one day. One night I said, I'll put my finger on this map, and wherever it lands, I'm going to go.
And you landed on Sheffield?
Such an exotic word.
Of
It's in
course.
England. Do you know it?
Stop talking! We have to leave!
I'll distract them long enough to be sure you can get away. then I'll be right behind you.
It's too dangerous.
He's my brother. Across the field, over the border, into the forests. Keep going north. You as well.
I'll come with you.
No. These are demons I have to face alone.
These were the real demons all along. Fuck, man.
I know what you did to the holy man.
There's nothing holy about a man who would approve your union. Better he die than defile himself.
Fuck you.
Baby brother. What happened to you? Really? I know you. We fought together in Siam. We made a good team. And now this.
We are your people, Prem. India's your country. You and Kunal fought for this.
This is not what I fought for.
We will watch over him now.
Please, Manish.
Come on.
You have to look, yes. Fuck me. Another one. Countless of people.
What is the matter, Betty?
You loved Grandad, didn't you?
Of course.
And you happy with how your life turned out?
Why would you be asking that?
Just your journey. So many countries. So many years. I can't even begin to imagine what you've dealt with. Then you end up in Sheffield, of all places.
I love Sheffield.
Really?
Well, not quite as exotic as I thought it would be. But it gave us stability, a life, a home. And it gave me your mum. And it gave me you and your sister. You want to know about the watch? Really?
No. Tell me another time. I love you, Nanny.
And I love you too, Betty.
Fuck, that episode was good. That episode was so good. Okay, full length people, see you in the review. So I was about to say that that episode was the best episode we had in the season so far, but then I remember that we had Rosa. I might have enjoyed this one more than Rosa, actually. Like, fuck, this episode was so good. I was not ready for this episode to be this good. I really wasn't. Like, fuck. Man. This is one of the really good ones. This is one of the really, really good ones that we have every now and then, you know? And here's the thing, though. If you're watching Doctor Who for the sci-fi bullshit, then you're gonna think this episode sucks. Here's the thing, though. What this episode is doing is not bad, but it's amazing. It's an amazing drama, what they presented us. It's... So, okay. It's a low-key historical episode, okay? Because we went back to India well, the India divide of 1947. Okay? And given I am not that knowledgeable on that part of history because it's kind of far away from me, and I'm also both geographically speaking as well as chronologically speaking, I'm far away from that. So I don't have that much knowledge on it. But the situation being presented to us, the setting we have presented, it's like, oh shit, just like, okay, because we came here to see grandma's wedding, and then it's like, well, not even the wedding, we came here to see grandma, and then it turns out, oh, the wedding is happening tomorrow. Oh, it's 1947 in the Indian Muslim divide. Oh, there's some bullshit aliens also. It's like, okay, sure, let's do that. Okay, just like there was a clear moment where I was just so confused because it's like, Yas was confused. She was like, is that your husband? That's not really what? And then demons, and then I'm just sitting here like, what is happening? But then everything came together. The episode itself started making sense, and it was like, okay. They just threw a bunch of shit at me in like the span of like 5 minutes, and I didn't know what was going on. But so, fuck, this episode was a really good drama. It was a really good drama. This episode has a lot of good dramas, and even in the sci-fi episodes, the focus is the drama, not the sci-fi. And I have to say, people might have a problem with that, because the thing about Moffat episodes is that Moffat had a lot of weird, stupid, bullshit ass concepts that he came up with aliens or with time travel or whatever, right? And people enjoy that because they were so fucking bananas that it was just like, you know what, that's great. I was not expecting that, you blew me away. These episodes are not. These episodes are very grounded and have a lot of focus on drama. And that's it. Drama. Which is something I'm gonna say Moffat lacked. Okay? Moffat did have a lot of great things he did. There's also a lot of weak points he had. Particularly during the Matt Smith era, which is kind of where I dropped off with this show. And Series 8 kind of picked it up a little bit, and then Series 9 and 10 was just fantastic. But, like, the thing about it is that, like, this season is having a lot of drama in it. And even in the previous episode, it wasn't a drama episode, but it was. Like, the main thing about fucking Sarangan Conundrum, fuck that episode title, man. But, like, the main thing about that episode that I remember is that, like, we had a lot of characters talking more than weird shit happening, right? So I consider that to be more of a drama than a sci-fi. And I think that as long as you approach these episodes under that basis, you can enjoy this. You can enjoy this if you approach this episode as nothing. You know, that's the thing. It's like, I think people are not approaching this episode with the right mindset, which is a clear mindset. I think people are approaching this in a very specific manner, and then they get disappointed because they were approaching them expecting something, and then they get something different. But when you get something different than what you wanted, it might be better to just get nothing at all. Okay? So I'm pretty sure that's the problem with this season. Okay, so we're 6 episodes in. Okay. We still have this is the finale or whatever we're gonna do. We have 4 left. That's a solid 40%, which is a significant chunk. But now that we're halfway past the season, I feel confident in saying that this season is not as bad as people make it to be. There might be a really stupid episode coming, like maybe the finale is awful, it's terrible. That's a thing. Well, I can see it being something that people don't like because finales have been historically like bombastic and amazing and awesome. So maybe the fact that this one isn't is a letdown to some people. I can see that happening. I don't even know if it's gonna happen, but I can see it happening already. But 6 episodes in, 5 of those seasons of those 6 episodes were pretty good. First one was an introduction episode, but for what it was pretty good. 2 was kind of a very vanilla episode, but it was good for what it was. 3 was fucking Rosa. Are you kidding me? That episode was fantastic. Episode 4. Episode 4 didn't happen. Let's not talk about that one. Episode 5, Surrounding Conundrum, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. A lot of people didn't. Fuck you. I enjoyed it. This episode now is like the best one this season, and it's one of the best we've had in a long time. So it's like, dude, what the fuck, right? I'm glad we had an episode centered around Yas more than anyone, because we haven't had that. I mean, we haven't had that with any of them, but like Ryan and Graham have had much more. Oh, I just noticed. So I'm like skimming through the episode, and when they at the beginning of the episode, when they leave in the carriage, and then there's the monk, the holy man, and then that's when we first see the quote unquote assassins. And I said that they might as well look up like a Power Ranger villain. They were looking over the holy man because they knew he was gonna die. He was marked for death. That's good. That's good. I mean, of course, I couldn't have told that because that is revealed later in the episode. But now that I'm skimming through it, I can see that, and that makes so much more sense. It's fantastic. So, Yas has her grandma's birthday, and she's like, and grandma is just like saying some shit about her past, but not everything. She's keeping stuff for herself, and she says maybe at some point later. So Yas goes to the doctor and goes like, "Hey, can we go back to this point in time? Can I see what's going on with my grandma? I just want to see her, just from a distance. I just want to see her. You know, I just want to see what her life was." Which is fair, but also every time we do this, we interfere, man. But given not every time is the problem is interfering, often it's we were supposed to interfere to begin with. You know, often it's like we were part of the timeline already. You know, bootstrap. But okay, so we finally go and we straight up meet. I didn't remember his name, the husband's name. They straight up right away meet Prem, which takes them to Umbrin, which is the grandma. And then we just she kind of makes questions just like, hey, what's going on? Why doesn't he look like anything like I've seen in pictures? Your wedding is tomorrow? What the fuck? What's going on? Then we figure out we're in 1947 in the middle of, I'm gonna pull this out. Divide of India. The partition of India. That's the word, partition. So yes, we find out that we are in August 17, was it? We find out we're right in the middle of it, right when it was announced on TV, just like on radio, I guess. I don't actually remember what it was, but let's assume it was a radio because fuck, TV in India at that era, really? So the fact that we go back to there, it's a historical event, but we're not directly conflicting with it. We're more conflicting with the story of Ash's mom, Yas's mom. What was her name? Give me a second. I have it right here. Umbrin and Prem. So there's no way to like ignore the main thing regarding this episode, which is we're in a setting where it's a conflict based on, is it race? To some degree it's race, but yeah, kind of. So it's okay. Again, I am not that knowledgeable on this topic and this conflict, but for what I can see and for what the show showed me and from what I have the Wikipedia article right here, it seems that like everything was fine. They all just chilled together, like all these groups of people, they all coexisted together and it was totally fine. And then at some point someone or some group decided to start saying, you know, those guys, fuck those guys, what are those guys doing in our lands? We're the rightful owners of this land. We should kick those guys out. Those guys suck. They're taking our land. They're taking our stuff. Fuck those guys. We gotta kill them. That's it. That's literally what happened. that, from my understanding of it, that's literally what happened. At the very least, that's literally what happened in this episode. That's also literally what happens nowadays. Ignoring the current times parallels, that is, it's amazing that we go to that very setting on the day it happens. And given most of that happened off screen, like the riots and the kicking people away and murder, just straight up murders. Like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia article right here. It says 200,000 deaths to 2 million is the estimate for deaths, and 14 million displaced. So yes, shit happened. You know what it is? 2 million deaths. You know what 2 million is? Motherfucker, think about the number 2 million. What has 2 million people? So the population on my city where I live in, the good old city of Resistencia Chaco, Argentina, which is it's the capital of the province, by the way. It's not an amazing province, but it is a province, and it is the capital of said province, which means it's the biggest city in the entire province. The population, according to a 2010 census, was 291,720 people for Resistencia Chaco, my city. Again, the partition of India caused 200,000 to 2 million deaths. That's just the full city. That's just the entire city. Imagine walking out of your house, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. You are dead too. Everyone's dead. The entire city dead. The city next to you also dead. Nothing. Just bodies all over the floor. That's what we're talking about here. So kind of a big deal. The fact that we stand right in it, it's like, Jesus. It's like, it's one of those fucked up things that happen in the history of humanity for the same fucked up reasons as every time, as always. And parallels to modern times are not lost too. Like, I was actually listening to some of the dialogue and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're saying with what context. And it's amazing. How do I put this thought into words without making people angry? Well, if you want to be angry, fuck that. But also, at the same time, I don't want to deliberately make people angry. I literally just want to express my thoughts. And I want those people to maybe understand that. But the thing about doing that is that I appreciate so much more if you actually are giving me a very good story tackling on real issues such as this, and giving like real examples with real meaning, and then the episode ends and I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, I appreciate when you do that. Because the thing is that you can give a vague message of like, be kind to people, which is something I really appreciate with the 12th Doctor and Series 10, and I love that, by the way. That's like my favorite thing ever. But that is just a vague advice for how to live your life. What you actually need is for someone to just put a sheet of paper in front of your face saying, this happened, this is why it happened, this is how fucked it is, pay attention to it. And then it's up to people if they want to listen to it or not. A lot of people aren't listening. That's a problem. So at how much is the Doomsday Clock right now? Because it got updated like a couple weeks ago. The Doomsday Clock is currently at 100 seconds to midnight. Updated on January 23rd of 2020. So, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. We're at 100 seconds to midnight. In case you aren't paying attention, that's going on. That's and given that it's not a prediction to the future, that is just an estimate based on events that are happening. And the fact that people just, the response to an episode like this, or to Rosa, is to just go, fuck you, where are my aliens though? I don't even know what to say. I went on a huge rant. This is gonna be cut. This is gonna be cut for the YouTube thing for sure. But like, holy shit! Like, there were really good conversations in this episode that just tackle it on like real well. But even to the end when we got the two brothers, Umbri's the girl, Pren and Manish, was that his name? Yeah. We got the two brothers, Prem and Manish. And it's like, the confrontation ends up being like, Prem is like, what the fuck are you doing, brother? Like, what happened to you? And then the Manish is just like, this is our land. Those people don't deserve to be here, though. This land belongs to us. This is what you fought for. And then Prime goes, this is not what I fought for, dude. Because, like he said, like, this is my house. This is our land. And everyone is welcome here. But then the fucking motherfucker goes like, nope. And just dies. And it's one of those things where it's like, the end of the episode, it leaves you this weird bittersweet feeling of like, not even, just sad feeling. Because it's like, this is a thing that happened. This is the amount of people that died as a result of this weird fucking race war. Is it a race thing? Because, let's say it is. Because it's different groups of people from different places and they just go, fuck it. And he just dies. And the brother's just an asshole. And you just have to deal with it. There's no fairy tale solution. There's nothing. It's just like, the event played out as it did. Because it always did like that. And that's what makes it feel real, man. That's what makes it feel super real. Is that we didn't have a magic bullshit gadget that the doctor came up with in order to save him. The doctor she just realized this is what has to happen. And then we just watched it happen. And we felt like shit because it really shouldn't have. But there are things we can change. Such as a race war. Or racism in the case of Rosa. These are all things that make it feel so much real because these are things that happen. These are things that have happened and continue to happen. And the fact that people want to turn a blind eye to that just because fuck you, give me my aliens though, that's what makes me feel very sad. More than anything. That's what makes me feel the saddest. The fact that people are unwilling to listen. People are unwilling to understand. Even now, even at 100 seconds to midnight. Even now, people don't give a shit. Like he said right here, my brother who's been reading too many pamphlets, just like, somebody got all those fucked up ideas in his head, and he's just like, no, I believe in this now. And it's like, all these groups of people, we used to live in peace here, and suddenly people started telling us how we should feel, and then we started doing it. And that's the worst, whenever normal people just go crazy. And when that happened, I was just like, fuck. Dialogue in this episode was really good. The themes this episode touched on were really good. I haven't even reviewed the episode in a way. I only talk about the themes and given my own personal commentary on everything. I'm sorry about that, but like I don't even know if there's anything for me to say about the episode itself. I mean, it was fantastic, but like it was fantastic because it felt really good. The drama felt really good, and by good I mean it what didn't feel good, but it was very meaningful. It was very powerful, and there were some very nice conversation, dialogue, lives that happened. Like Graham talking to Yas about her grandma's story and what a story is and how we see that across our lives, and the conversations regarding the entire conflict that is happening, you know. And there's this one moment where like even Ombri goes to like, I want to thank Vanish because, well, the brother was in the war and like we were all starving and we needed help. Vanish was there and he always worked really hard in order to get food into our table, and I want to thank him. And the dude was like, fuck you, bitch, I didn't get you anything, it was for me and my brothers, one of which didn't come back and the other one which I wish didn't. And I'm just sitting here like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. At the end of the episode, we get this scene with Yas and Umbri as the grandma, and I want to tackle on that because I think that's really important, and it's the fact that Yas is talking to her about this story and about everything she went through, which I feel like it might just be the main thing of the episode. The main theme is just Umbri's life and everything that went down during her life. And Yas is just like, she's like wondering, was that okay? Like, do you feel like shit about it? Like, she's just wondering because there's a lot in her head because what she just witnessed, and it's like, Grandma, how do you feel about that? And ultimately, Umbri goes like, no, it's okay because like, I don't regret living my life, even though that fucked up event happened, and the person I love died to his scumbag brother on the day of our wedding, and we didn't get to enjoy ourselves or anything. It's like, she doesn't regret her life because she continued to live on. She continued to travel. She went to so many different countries. I think she remarried, and that's where Yes come from. But it's like, she doesn't regret any of that because her life still happened and it was important. Every moment, every second was important. And like, she made her family. She had her daughter, Yes's mom, and then she got her granddaughters, Yes, and her sister, you know? Just like, there's a lot that she went through. And even though a lot of that was bad, she doesn't regret any of it because everything led up to this moment where she's just sitting here with her granddaughter, just like smiling at each other and enjoying themselves. And that is a bittersweet moment because it's like, Grandma had a rough life, but ultimately Grandma's life led up to this, and she's content with what she was able to accomplish, which is a nice family and had nice memories and opportunities, and she doesn't regret any of what happened, which is something that I'm sure Yas was stuck on because she was like, that was fucked up, Grandma, are you okay? But then Grandma's like, no, I'm fine. And what Graham said like, yes, that is not your grandma yet. She's not yet to the point where like she talks to you about this stuff, you know? Just like, she'll grow up and become that person eventually, but she's not that person yet. And it's just a concept of people change. People go through a lot of experiences and eventually end up becoming what they become. But you're not the same person that you were yesterday. You're not the same person that you were a year ago, you know? And definitely not the one that you were like 6 years ago, you know? And it just, there were a lot of really meaningful moments and conversations and everything that went down in this episode, and I'm really happy about that. I really, really enjoy this episode so much. every theme that it touched on, every issue that is just tackled almost head on without giving a fuck. And every bittersweet moment and just teaching and meaning of like what it is to be someone and what a life is and everything that goes down in that life, the progression that ends up making you who you are. Everything that was just like, even if slightly touched on, I was just like in love with. Like, the fucking alien dudes didn't matter. Like, the alien assassins that weren't really assassins, I don't remember the names. They didn't matter. Initially, it looked like they were gonna matter, but then it's like, no, we're just looking at them. We're just looking at lonely people, or like people that die lonely, in order to pay respects to them, you know, because they deserve it. Because they were like, our planet of assassins ended up being wiped out, and everyone died, and we paid respect to those who died, and now our mission is to just pay respect to everyone across the universe who dies in a similar manner, you know? So after that, it didn't matter. And that was like 3/4 to the episode. The final fourth of the episode didn't matter. Or the final third act, I think, didn't matter. Regarding the aliens, I mean. It mattered a lot in terms of drama. But like, that's it. Episodes like these episodes are so important, so meaningful, and so dramatic, and I just love them so much because of it. And like, that's the thing, is that like, I cannot think of a single Capaldi era Doctor Who episode that was as meaningful as this one. I definitely had episodes that were more enjoyable, that I loved very much. The 12th Doctor is still my favorite Doctor. Heaven Sent is still like my favorite story, but like, episodes like this one have meaning, have power, and have something that they want you to learn and pay attention to and understand. And if you're listening to that, then I don't know what to tell you. You're not gonna get anywhere with episodes like this because you're not listening. This episode is probably the most meaningful episode I've watched of this show. Ever? Probably ever, yeah. From series 1 to right now, this might be the most meaningful episode we've had, in a way. We had the Get Bang Off episode, that was really good. Rosa was fantastic, but ultimately the thing about Rosa is that it's like, we know what's gonna happen, and we just showed it to you. That was it. This episode also presents you an historical event, but also presents you a more in-close view to a family and a singular person's life, or a couple people's life, you know, Umbri, Prem, Manish, all these people, what their life was and what the result, the end conflict was, and why the conflict happened. It's like, you can read in a Wikipedia article, Partition of India. You can read how many people died and were displaced. But it's different to just read that and to show it to you through media, through a show, and making characters that you can like watch and get attached to in order to like show them to you in a more personal manner how it went down. And that's it. That's what this episode did so well. It gave me a very in-depth insight to Partition of India, not in a geopolitical, socio-political perspective, not in any of that, but in a personal perspective. What would it be like if you were getting married and this should happen? What would it be like if you were getting married to someone from the other side of the country, from a different kind of people, and the day that this shit went down, and if your brother was someone, a radical asshole that was so far gone that he would just do something like that? What would it be like? This episode is what it would be like. And that has much more weight than any documentary you can put in front of me. Showing me something like this. Yeah. Because there's a difference between showing you information in a book about what it was like and just seeing it through this episode. It's just great. If this episode wasn't a Doctor Who episode and instead was just a drama without the sci-fi alien elements or the Doctor, it would be a fucking 10 out of 10 reviewed movie by IMDb. You know, everyone would love this shit. And I think that's a problem, because I think I am of the belief that you should never approach something with something else in mind or judging it by any specific metric. You should always approach any piece of media with your mind completely clear and open and willing to accept whatever it's doing, willing to listen to it, willing to understand it, and willing to accept exactly what it's doing. Not judging it by any other metric, because if you do that, you're going to be judging it for something that it's not doing. And then, obviously, you're not going to like it, because it's just not what you wanted. But this shit is just amazing in other aspects of it. I gotta talk about this shit. Wait. God, editing this discussion is gonna be a nightmare. I cut like 2 or 3 times, and then I'm gonna have to like cut over and over again over times where I just don't know what to say, or I just say something that is just like too much. This episode was fantastic, by the way. It was the best episode of the season. To me, it was the best one, more than Rosa. I enjoy Rosa a lot, but this episode just fucking punched me in the sense of like, it made me think about a lot of shit that is not necessarily new, but it has a lot of meaning to it. I feel like the Rosa episode was respectful, and it wanted to teach people on the struggle. This episode just showed me a fucked up scenario and made it more personal. So that's it. I enjoyed this episode a lot. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this reaction to a Doctor Who episode. If you'd like to see next one already, it's up on Patreon as well as full length. Check out the links in the description and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care.